What happens when the world ends not in a bang, but in the slow, relentless march of death? What do we become when civilization crumbles, leaving only ruins, despair, and the inescapable presence of our own mortality? Today, on Art Unveiled, we delve into two works of art that explore these terrifying questions. Separated by centuries, yet united in their portrayal of apocalypse and the fragility of human life, Pieter Bruegel the Elder's The Triumph of Death and the modern horror film 28 Days Later take us on a journey into the darkest corners of human existence. Prepare yourself to confront the unstoppable forces that lurk in the shadows, waiting to claim us all. Today, we delve into Pieter Bruegel the Elder's The Triumph of Death, a haunting masterpiece that not only captures the inevitability of death and the collapse of civilization, but also serves as a powerful source of inspiration for modern works. We'll explore how the 2002 film 28 Days Later, directed by Danny Boyle, draws upon the chilling imagery and themes of Bruegel's painting. Despite the centuries that separate them, the film mirrors the painting's depiction of an unstoppable force that decimates humanity, suggesting that 28 Days Later owes much of its apocalyptic vision to Bruegel's dark portrayal of life's fragility and the omnipresent shadow of death. Let's begin with The Triumph of Death, painted around 1562 by Pieter Bruegel the Elder. This work is a vivid and harrowing portrayal of death's all-encompassing power. Bruegel, a master of detailed and densely populated scenes, fills the canvas with nightmarish imagery. An army of skeletons sweeps across a desolate landscape, bringing destruction and despair wherever they go. The world in this painting is one where death has triumphed completely, leaving no corner of life untouched. Bruegel's painting reflects the fears and anxieties of his time, particularly the devastation wrought by the Black Death, which had decimated Europe a century earlier, and the ongoing religious wars that threatened to tear society apart. In The Triumph of Death, we see the complete collapse of societal order. There are no heroes, no saviors, only the inevitable march of death. The skeletal figures are depicted with a grotesque, almost mocking sense of finality as they slaughter the living, burn towns, and leave a trail of corpses in their wake. Pieter Bruegel the Elder, born around 1525, was one of the most significant artists of the Northern Renaissance. Known for his detailed landscapes and scenes of peasant life, Bruegel often infused his works with moral and societal commentary. His paintings are rich with symbolism, reflecting the complex and often grim realities of his world. Bruegel's work often tackled themes of human folly, the transient nature of life, and the inevitability of death, making him a true chronicler of the human condition. In The Triumph of Death, Bruegel's vision is at its darkest. The painting is part of a broader tradition of memento mori, artworks that remind viewers of their mortality. However, Bruegel's approach is uniquely visceral and immediate, forcing the viewer to confront the terrifying reality of death head-on. The chaotic, overwhelming composition mirrors the sense of a world in free-fall, where all human endeavors are ultimately futile in the face of death's inevitability. Now, let's shift our focus to 28 Days Later, a film that draws clear inspiration from Bruegel's The Triumph of Death. Directed by Danny Boyle, the film opens with a chilling premise. a highly contagious virus known as the rage virus rapidly spreads across the UK, transforming those infected into violent, mindless creatures. The story follows a group of survivors navigating a desolate, post-apocalyptic world where the structures of civilization have crumbled and death is an ever-present threat. Much like the skeletal army in Bruegel's painting, the infected in 28 Days Later represent an unstoppable force that annihilate everything in its path. The virus spreads with terrifying speed, leaving behind a landscape of death and destruction. The survivors, much like the few remaining figures in Bruegel's work, are left to navigate a world overrun by death. There is no safe haven, no escape from the omnipresent threat, just as there is no refuge from the skeletal army in Bruegel's vision. The parallels between these two works are not coincidental. 28 Days Later seems to draw direct inspiration from Bruegel's The Triumph of Death. Both delve into the concept of an unstoppable force, whether death or a viral outbreak, that dismantles society and leaves only chaos and desolation in its wake. The film echoes Bruegel's portrayal of a world where old rules no longer apply. Civilization has crumbled, and death is the only constant. This sense of inevitability is central to both pieces, as the characters' desperate attempts to survive are ultimately futile against the overwhelming force that Bruegel so hauntingly depicted. Through their vivid imagery and unflinching exploration of humanity's darkest aspects, both Bruegel's painting and Boyle's film serve as stark reminders of life's fragility. As we anticipate the release of 28 Years Later in June 2025, it's clear that the themes Bruegel explored centuries ago still resonate today. The terrifying inevitability of death and societal collapse depicted in The Triumph of Death continues to inspire and influence modern apocalyptic narratives, proving that its chilling message remains as relevant now as it was in the 16th century. Bruegel's vision endures, reminding us that no matter how much time passes, the shadow of death looms ever present. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of human darkness. If you enjoyed this episode of Art Unveiled, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you see the themes of The Triumph of Death reflected in modern apocalyptic films like 28 Days Later? Leave your comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of The Triumph of Death. Stay with us as we continue to uncover the mysteries and marvels of the art world, one painting at a time. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep the wonder of art alive.